In the oppressive stillness of the night, I found myself standing alone in the dimly lit basement of my ancestral home. The clock on the wall ominously ticked away the seconds, and the air hung heavy with the weight of forgotten memories. It was a place seldom visited, a repository of family history and secrets. The reason for my descent into this subterranean realm was a forgotten family heirloom, a relic of the past that had long been relegated to the shadows. As I approached the dusty shelves, my fingers gingerly brushed against the cold, aged surface, and I felt an inexplicable shiver coursing through my spine. Little did I know that this seemingly innocuous object held the key to a malevolent force that would soon unravel my reality. The time was irrelevant. The basement existed in a perpetual twilight, a realm suspended between the echoes of bygone eras and the present. As I gazed upon the forgotten heirloom, a sense of foreboding crept over me. The heirloom, an ornate, antique mirror, seemed to hold a secret within its reflective surface. With trepidation, I peered into the mirror, and at that moment, an otherworldly chill gripped the room. The reflection that stared back at me was distorted, marred by grotesque phantoms that writhed and contorted in the dim light. These spectral manifestations seemed to feed on my deepest anxieties, each one a twisted embodiment of my innermost fears. The first phantom bore the visage of a distorted figure, its face a twisted mask of anguish. It whispered unsettling truths that resonated with my most profound insecurities, amplifying the whispers that lingered in the recesses of my mind. The second phantom, a specter of relentless doubt, echoed the chorus of my fears, casting shadows upon the walls that seemed to writhe with a life of their own. As the malevolent entities continued to manifest, their grotesque forms weaving through the shadows, I became ensnared in a waking nightmare. The basement, once a sanctuary of family history, had transformed into a nightmarish theater where my deepest fears took center stage. Time lost its meaning as the phantoms relentlessly pursued me, their whispers growing louder with each passing moment. The air became suffocating, and the ancestral home, once a bastion of comfort, now felt like a prison. In my desperation, I sought refuge in the labyrinthine corridors of the house, but the phantoms persisted, their ethereal forms closing in with every step. The boundary between reality and nightmare blurred, and the once familiar surroundings warped into a surreal landscape of torment. The malevolent force seemed to feed on the very fabric of my existence, distorting reality with each manifestation. The mirror, the conduit for this malevolence, loomed ominously in the periphery, its reflective surface now a gateway to a realm where nightmares held sway. Haunted by the grotesque phantoms that had emerged from the depths of the forgotten family heirloom, I grappled with the realization that my ancestral home harbored a darkness beyond my comprehension. In the relentless pursuit of the malevolent enities, I became entangled in a web of fear and despair, each encounter with the phantoms driving me further into the abyss of my own psyche. As the ordeal reached its zenith, I found myself standing once again in the dimly lit basement, the malevolent entities dissipating like wisps of smoke. The mirror, now devoid of the grotesque reflections, stood as a silent witness to the harrowing journey that had unfolded. The basement, once a dormant repository of family secrets, now bore the scars of a confrontation with the supernatural. The forgotten family heirloom, a seemingly innocent mirror, had become a portal to a realm where anxieties took on tangible form, and reality itself was a fragile illusion. The echoes of that night lingered, a haunting reminder that sometimes the most innocuous objects could harbor malevolent forces. The ancestral home, once a sanctuary, had been irrevocably tainted by the darkness that had been unleashed from within its depths. In the aftermath, as I stood amidst the remnants of that nightmarish encounter, I couldn't shake the feeling that the malevolent entity, having tasted the depths of my fears, lingered in the shadows, patiently awaiting another opportunity to manifest and prey on the vulnerabilities of the living. The basement, now a forbidden chamber of horrors, stood as a chilling testament to the thin veil that separates the mundane from the supernatural, a veil that, once breached, can unleash a terror that defies explanation. It was a peculiar afternoon when I stumbled upon a dilapidated flea market, its stalls adorned with an array of forgotten treasures and curiosities. Intrigued by the prospect of unearthing something unique, my attention was drawn to a weathered vendor whose collection seemed frozen in time. Among the forgotten artifacts, my gaze fixed upon a cursed camera, its tarnished lens and worn leather casing hinting at a history steeped in mystery. The time was immaterial, and the location unremarkable, a nondescript corner of the flea market that seemed to exist in a temporal limbo. Against my better judgment, I succumbed to the allure of the cursed camera, its presence whispering promises of capturing more than just mundane photographs. As I delved into the camera's enigmatic origins, I discovered that it had purportedly traversed through the hands of those seeking to unveil the secrets of the unseen. Little did I know that this seemingly innocuous device would become a portal to a parallel dimension, one that mirrored my own existence but deviated into the realms of malevolence and conspiracy. In the early evening, I found myself in the quiet solitude of my living room, the cursed camera resting in my hands like a dormant artifact awaiting activation. With trepidation, I aimed the lens at the mundane surroundings, unaware of the extraordinary revelation that awaited me. As the first photograph materialized, a disconcerting unease settled upon the room. The image depicted my own living room, but it was distorted, bathed in an otherworldly gloom that hinted at a reality diverging from my own. Intrigued yet unnerved, I continued to capture glimpses of this parallel dimension, each photograph unveiling a distorted reflection of my life. It was in these eerie snapshots that I discovered the existence of my doppelganger, a sinister counterpart leading a life shrouded in darkness. His visage mirrored mine, yet his eyes betrayed a malevolent intelligence, as if he had unlocked the secrets of the cursed camera long before I did. In this parallel dimension, my doppelganger conspired with shadowy figures, orchestrating a nefarious plot to trade places with me and escape the nightmarish existence that plagued his reality. The photographs chronicled clandestine meetings, cryptic symbols etched into the fabric of the parallel world, and a sense of impending doom that transcended the boundaries of the photographs themselves. As I delved deeper into the captured images, a chilling realization gripped me: the boundaries between our worlds were porous, and the malevolent forces that fueled my doppelganger's conspiracy sought to breach the veils separating our parallel lives. The time, once a linear concept, became a malleable construct as I navigated the treacherous terrain of dual existence. My living room, once a haven, transformed into a battleground where the sinister doppelganger and I were entwined in a cosmic struggle for control over our respective destinies. As the plot unfolded, I grappled with the understanding that my actions in the real world echoed through the parallel dimension, and vice versa. The cursed camera, a conduit between realms, became both a weapon and a liability in the face of the impending clash. In a climactic encounter, I confronted my doppelganger in the surreal landscape of the parallel dimension, a twisted reflection of my own reality. The air crackled with malevolence as we stood face to face, our fates entangled in a cosmic dance. The battle for supremacy unfolded not only in the tangible world but also within the very fabric of our beings. The cursed camera, now a relic of interdimensional warfare, captured the essence of our struggle in a final, haunting photograph. As the image materialized, the distorted living room faded, and I found myself standing alone, the cursed camera slipping from my hands. The parallel dimension, once a malevolent mirror of my reality, collapsed into itself, leaving behind a void that echoed with the remnants of the cosmic clash. The cursed camera, now dormant, stood as a testament to the thin veil between dimensions, a veil that, once pierced, could unravel the fabric of existence itself. In the aftermath, as I surveyed the mundane surroundings of my living room, I couldn't shake the lingering unease that the parallel dimension, though sealed, continued to cast its shadow, a haunting reminder that the boundaries between worlds are delicate and easily disrupted by the whispers of the unseen. It was at the witching hour, a time when the veil between the living and the spectral realms wavered, that the ancient well in my backyard beckoned with an eerie allure. Its stone walls, worn by the passage of centuries, stood as a silent witness to the secrets it harbored, the forbidden knowledge that, once whispered, would seep into the recesses of my mind, consuming sanity with each haunting revelation. The moon hung low in the ink-black sky, casting an ethereal glow upon the well's moss-covered surface. Intrigued yet apprehensive, I approached the well, its dark depths seeming to stretch into the bowels of the earth. The air, pregnant with a sense of impending doom, clung to the surroundings as the whispers emanated from the well, a symphony of voices that transcended the boundaries of the living. The time held no significance in the spectral realm that the well seemed to connect to, but it was in the dead of night that the forbidden knowledge reached its zenith. As I peered into the inky abyss, the voices grew louder, their insidious secrets worming their way into the fabric of my consciousness. With each whispered revelation, my sanity eroded, and the boundary between reality and the otherworldly blurred. The well, a conduit for the forbidden knowledge, became a siren's call, luring me into its waterlogged depths.